Chris.
Hey, Sean.
What you doing today?
We're snowed in.
Well, that's not where I was going to go. But I was hoping you'd say, well, we're talking paranormal today.
We are. We are talking paranormal today. So we're changing all the episode up.
Yeah, and if you, we can't even see you, Chris.
Oh, hey.
Uh,
He's working out the kinks, but
no, we're kind of kinky around here.
so we gotta do the fist bump again.
I don't think we did it the first time.
I don't think we did, but anyway. Yeah, we're snowed in. It's pretty bad in Arkansas right now, and probably around the whole South, Tennessee, Mississippi.
But if you can't tell, we're kind of changing things up a little bit. We're going to turn that just a little bit more.
So yeah, you had an idea to change the name since we've got Talking True Crime.
Yeah,
so.
we started another show called Talking True Crime, so we are going to call this instead of Paranormal Adventures, since we started Paranormal Adventures basically because we like to talk about this stuff while we're driving.
Right, yeah.
Well, we got into the YouTube stuff and everything, and we do more of it at home.
Right. Here at our nice new discussion table.
So we're, instead of Paranormal Adventures where we're out and about doing things, we're going to call this Talking Paranormal.
Yeah. So we'll be talking to all you guys, and we'll be talking to each other. So
we're basically going to be talking back and forth about stuff.
Yeah.
And if you can't tell, we're looking at each other more than we are at the camera. So you don't have to see my ugly mug as much.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway.
But we're definitely eating good. We've got the food for sure since we've been stuck in.
We got the meat.
Yes. So you got Falcor.
I do have Falcor. You're taking my Falcor away.
So there's Falcor.
They can't see that. You're not holding it up high enough.
Oh, there he is. From Never Ending Story.
I'm taking my back.
The Never Ending Story.
I'm not doing that. I'm not Dustin.
No, we're not Dustin. And Phoebe, what was her name? Was it Phoebe? What was her name? The little girl that...
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. Susie, because he called her Susie Q or something. Yeah.
And it's Gilbert the Green Dragon.
Yeah, you got him at the Paranormal Festival back in October.
The Paranormal Expo.
Yeah, in Little Rock.
It was.
So we plan on doing this a little different, but I think it's going to be good. And we've been talking about all kinds of stuff. And
anyway.
Yes.
You know what I've been interested in, though?
Yeah. I
know that I'm interested in the ghost stuff. But I've been kind of interested in the UFO stuff, too.
I'm extremely interested in the UFO and aliens and stuff because I do believe a certain degree of a lot of that.
So
I do believe in the Palladians and them that are kind of like us, Yeah. I guess I've always felt like God made this vast universe and there's what they call the divine council and things, which the divine council kind of reminds me of what they call the galactic council, and to me they kind of intertwine. So, and I know that every being that would be made in God's image like we are would what do you say, we would all have free will, and the rules and guidelines of the Bible that's been passed down to each planet, each civilization. So whether they do good or bad, they still have that free will, so some of them may not be nice, but I do believe there's good alien races out there that kind of follow God's law, and honestly, they're probably a little better than us because they were made a lot longer ago than we were, so they've come to be like more peaceful nations. And they say that the Palladians are very spiritual beings, and that they follow God's law, and that they want man to be better towards each other. And I've always heard that Palladian group, and I think the Andromedans fall in that. They don't want us to destroy the Earth, and they've intervened several times, to try to protect the planet. That's what I've, read or heard about before. I don't know how much you've read or heard about some of that stuff.
I've not really dove into a lot of the alien stuff, but I want to get more into
it. Yeah.
Because there's a lady we got to meet. She's had alien interactions.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I don't.
We went to
right,
get the wood from.
Yeah, her and her sister do the podcast.
The
Grounded Galactic Twins.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But,
if I'm saying that right, you got to check them out, guys.
She's had alien contact, and she's got an identical twin sister that hasn't had alien contact.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
They have differences in their opinions on that.
It's kind of they've had different experiences.
Yeah.
And they're like another show I like to listen to is hang on. I know we got into an argument about us being on our phone, reading from our phone, trying to.
Well, I mean, and I would still like to look up stuff too, so that I know that if I need to make sure that information that I'm telling you guys, to make sure it's right, I like to have my phone available to make sure I have that information. But
I'm looking. Spaced Out Radio is what I'm thinking.
Yes, I love Spaced Out Radio.
The guy's name, he's from Canada, and the guy's name is Dave Scott, the host Spaced Out Radio.
Yeah.
And he's had alien contact, but he has a guy that comes on.
R. Keith
and
Andrews. Is it Andrews? R. Keith Andrews?
Andrews, yeah.
Yeah.
He's had claims to have had contact with extraterrestrials, and he goes into a lot more details of
yeah, he does. Some of his stuff's a little out there for me, but
I think it's really interesting where he talks about like the alien species you see on Star Trek. Well, they came up with them alien species because they had contact with them, with those species.
Right.
And there's a lot of species out there that he's got two books. He's working on his second book of different aliens.
Didn't he say that there was a planet on the other side of our sun?
That there's a theory that there's a planet that we can't actually see because we're here and say this is the sun, and they're directly across from us, so we never actually see that planet.
So, but then it would almost be in another I don't want to say in a system of its own.
It's in our same solar system.
Oh, okay.
And it follows our same orbit.
But we just can never see it.
But the way it's positioned, they're directly across the sun from us.
I guarantee you that if it is there, the government knows about it and they don't tell us. Just so you guys, just so I can make that clear, that I looked it up about some of the peaceful races, and it is the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, and the Orgnanians. And it says these beings typically focus on harmony, technological advancement, and guidance, frequently acting as benevolent protectors or mentors to humanity. So I just want to make sure that I told you guys that right from stuff that I had read before. But yeah, I've always been fascinated with that. And it's all supposed to kind of be in the Seven Sisters Sean, have you heard about that? It's like the stars that kind of form the seven sisters.
I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, and it's basically like that star system has like the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, and a lot of them are in that certain area. Of course, that's in its own galaxy, that unfortunately we don't have the technologies to get to, which is crazy to me because all these other races and beings, they do have that technology and they're able to get here, so they're just more advanced. But I do believe in those ones that we spoke about, though, that are trying to actually help humanity. And I believe it was the Pleiadians that look very similar to us, but they're very angelic looking too. A lot blonde hair, blue eyes, tall.
I think this is the planet I was thinking about. It's Nibiru, Nibiru.
Nibiru.
But it's saying it's a fictitious planet from conspiracy theories popularized by Zachariah Sitchin, believed to be a large planet in a 3,600-year orbit that brings catastrophic events to Earth, linked to Sumerian myths about the Anunnaki, but it has no scientific basis and is debunked by NASA.
Yeah.
Though the name has roots in ancient Babylonian astronomy for a celestial point of crossing or a marker for equinoxes, modern scientific searches focus on hypothetical planet 9, a different concept from the Stitchin-inspired Nibiru's myths.
Yeah, it seems like I've seen things pop up about Nibiru or something.
But it's linked with the Anunnaki.
And see, I'm fascinated with the Anunnaki, the ancient ones that came down, and I do believe they are linked with our Father and Creator, because I think the Anunnaki were actually the Watchers that they talk about in the Bible some. But it doesn't talk about it as much in the Bible that we have as much as it does the Book of Enoch. They mention the Watchers a lot. And I really feel like after reading the Book of Enoch from the Bible and then doing a lot of research on the Anunnaki, I do believe that they're linked and it's one and the same.
See, here's my thinking though. We talk about the angels.
Yeah.
And if you look up the the way that aliens are depicted, actually how they're depicted in the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about some wild looking characters. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Well, and some appeared in the Bible too, like Lot and other people in the Bible over the years, and they look just like us. Well, if you think about it, the Pleiadians are supposed to look a lot like us. And they were here to do God's work and to help, and I think they came to Lot, and they warned him. They're like, God wants you and your wife and your daughters to flee. The town's going to be destroyed. Again, they're peaceful, harmony. They're doing God's will on His behalf for us. And I do believe that. I think they're probably... And then, like you said, there's some gnarly looking angels too. And if you look at some of the alien races that people have depicted, still good beings. And from what I can understand too, like, weren't some of them serpent-like? Because wasn't, like...
Satan was... When he appeared to Adam and Eve, he appeared
as a serpent. Yeah. Like, could change their form and were kind of gnarly looking.
sorry, I'm trying to find pictures.
I will have to say, Sean and I are very much Christian people, and we were both raised as Christian people. But, and I'm sure he feels the same way I do. You can answer or reply here shortly after you look that up. But I myself, I always say I'm Christian, but I'm very spiritual.
I'm open-minded.
Yes, I'm open-minded. I'm also very spiritual, and I believe in the spirituality through the whole universe, and I believe that we're all linked back to our one God and creator that created everything. But I don't think we are the only ones.
I'm sending you
I think there are other races with the same laws and rules in place as we have.
I sent you that picture, but you know, like God is omnipresent.
Yes,
He's
everywhere.
He's always everywhere. He knows everything. That's not the picture.
Oh, okay.
But angels are not.
Right.
You know.
Oh, that's cool, babe. Yeah.
You can post it on our Facebook
Yeah,
page.
I'll put that on our Facebook page later.
And I will be changing the Facebook page name as well.
Yeah, so our page will be Talking Paranormal with Sean and Crystal, or
just Talking Paranormal.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's cool.
But if you think about it, these angels are not like that. They are not omnipresent.
They're not.
And in my mind, I'm sitting here going, God sends the angels to warn, you know, like Lot. He sends his angels to talk to, like,
That's
Mary
cool.
and stuff. But these angels, are they located in heaven? Or are they located on these different planets? And God says, hey, I need you to go here and warn them. Because if you look at the picture, you know, and you read the description of these angels, there's angels with like a dozen wings.
Oh, yeah.
Or eyes like...
Right. And scaly, serpent
you know,
like.
You got these... They're alien-looking creatures.
And to tie into what you're saying with the aliens too, here's some descriptions of some of these that are peaceful.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
quick?
then I'll tie in.
You know, God can go from heaven to earth like this.
Yeah, he's omnipresent.
But the angels, how do they get to earth? Do they have to have some sort of ship to get to earth? Ezekiel saw a spinning wheel in the sky.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. And there's the chariot that lifted, who was that got lifted to heaven in the chariot?
It's, I know.
But a lot of people think that's just what people of that time depicted it as, because they didn't have the words or knowledge to say a spaceship, because they had never seen anything like that. And it was supposed to be a chariot of fire. So what comes out of a rocket? Fire comes out the end of a rocket.
Elijah. Because there's Elijah and Elisha.
Yeah.
And I get them two
mixed up.
But the primary figure in the Bible carried to heaven without dying is the prophet Elijah, who is taken up in a whirlwind accompanied by a chariot of fire, according to 2 Kings 2:11.
Yeah.
Enoch is the only other person described as being taken directly to heaven by God without experiencing death.
And they found all of those missing books. And there's a reason they were kept out and kept from us. I know it. And now people are able to have access to these copies, like the Book of Enoch and all of these. And I don't care what arguments that some people might have. Those are important books, and they're just as important and should be in the Bible.
You know, you talk about the Book of Enoch being left out of the Bible. If you look in the New Testament, and you know, being a Christian, I do believe that Jesus came and died and all that.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
But even Jesus quoted from the book of Enoch.
Exactly.
Why is Enoch not in the Bible if Jesus is over here quoting from it?
Yeah, Jesus is talking to him about Enoch. He was very important. And when I read it, my jaw dropped because he's been to heaven. He's seen it all. He's seen the angels. He's had contact with the watchers. He knows what they look like. He's describing them. And when he describes them, and then I watch all this stuff about the Anunnaki, I'm like, the watchers were the Anunnaki. The way he describes the way they looked, the way they were acting, and the ones that started misbehaving and kind of, I like to say they got the big head. They tried to be better than what they were, and they were trying to teach things they shouldn't have been teaching so quickly to the human race.
Anyway, that's just my thought. Is the angels coming from other areas to Earth have to have a means of transportation from there to here, and who says it's not a spaceship craft? Because like you were saying, they don't, when Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, or even Abraham, Moses, David, all these people are writing they're writing the books. They're writing their books of the Bible. Well, their mindset was different than what ours is. We know what a airplane looks like. We know what it looks like when a space shuttle takes off.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know what it looks like when something is flying through the air.
Absolutely, and those times they didn't.
They didn't. Well, it wasn't. But in the early 1900s, before we started flying, the Wright brothers started flying in the early 1900s. So before then, the famous painter did the Mona Lisa. Michelangelo?
Yes. Or is it Vincent van Gogh?
No, I'm thinking Michelangelo. I believe it's Michelangelo. He did like the Sixtine Chapel ceiling and all that. But he had all these inventions of flying inventions, but he never did have anything that actually worked.
Right.
So, and some of them look, like spacecrafts.
Oh, yeah.
Look wild, Then, but it wasn't until the early 1900s when the Wright brothers actually took flight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this, that, from 1900 to now, say 1900 to the 1960s, you went to bicycle-powered, airplanes to, we're shooting somebody to the moon.
Yeah.
How do you do that in 60 years?
Because we were finally given the technology.
Somebody gave the government the technology.
And that's when we can get into Project Blue Book too. Yeah. And Project Blue Book, Truman was supposedly signed a treaty with an alien race that they would give us technology if they allowed them to abduct some of us for experimental reasons. As long as we weren't harmed or killed, they had signed a treaty that they could take people and do experiments and take tests and samples and things, and in return they would give us technologies.
Anyway, you were talking about something else. Sorry, I got on my soapbox a little bit.
I was kind of going to tie in what you were saying about the angels with these peaceful beings, and tell me this does not sound like one of God's angels that he sent down here like many times throughout the Bible. Okay, first we're going to talk about the Octurians, who are supposed to be very much like us. It says, described as wise, spiritual beings who live in harmony with nature and use collective decision making. They are known as explorers who do not use traditional money. There is no need for money and things like that where they're from. Pleiadians, often portrayed as highly advanced, fair-skinned beings devoted to helping humanity grow spiritually. They are associated with love, wisdom, and environmental care. Those are all God's rules right there of how we should be. Organians, non-corporeal, peaceful beings who evolved beyond physical needs, choosing to appear as simple, non-industrial people. Then you've got the Pimalites, an ancient, gentle species, again, gentle, that found the concept of violence impossible to understand. They don't want to see people violent and hurting each other. That's also God's law. Osagians, it says E.T., the extraterrestrial, depicted as gentle, curious, and non-aggressive visitors. So tell me that doesn't describe and kind of tie into what we were talking about with angelic different beings.
You know, you talked about the Watchers and all that coming down to
yeah,
and taking the, you know, basically taking the human women as wives, you know, and creating the Nephilim and all that. But you know, it's one of them that you think about they kind of followed Satan in a way, because if you think about it,
they became the fallen ones.
Satan was one of God's greatest angels. I mean, he was supposed to be like really beautiful, and he's like really musical.
Oh yeah.
You know, and one of the most beautiful
beings,
angels that was ever created. And get this though. So there's supposed to have been somewhere around 200 fallen angels.
Oh yeah.
And they came to Earth. And you know,
I'm following you. I'm like on your page. I'm like right there.
You think about the, you know, you see these little space rocks that hit Earth. Nothing major.
Yeah.
But there's somewhere around 200 impact points of large.
Yeah.
Of large, what they said were large meteors that hit the Earth.
I don't believe it either.
There was around 200 fallen angels.
Exactly.
And you think, you know, when were we hit by an asteroid?
No.
They say, oh, the dinosaurs died because of an asteroid impact.
And I do believe that. But before they were what was technically called fallen, we're on the same page here, but so if you go to the book of Enoch, those Watchers, they were sent down here to do good at first. They were supposed to help humanity to learn to do things, but they started teaching like all these things that they weren't supposed to be doing. Yeah. They basically got the big head, I like to say. Basically what it was, they liked the power they were getting from us little humans. They felt godlike, and a lot of them, like led by Satan, they wanted to be better than God, but they're not. Yeah. So they turned their backs and they became fallen. They had to stay here. They were not allowed to go anymore. They had to be down here. They were punished, you know. Of course, and there's the Nephilim and all of that. But
okay, so I'm gonna throw this out there. This is gonna be kind of I want to hear from other people what they think.
Yeah, definitely. We want to hear from you guys too.
You know, Devil's Tower.
Right.
Is it a mountain or is it a petrified tree trunk?
Petrified tree trunk.
There's not very many of the.
I believe it too. I know where you're going with that.
There's not very many rock formations like that. And if you got a tree that big.
And it's completely flat on top. Yeah. It's not like a mountain where it's like that. It's like flat. Yeah. Like it was a tree that was cut down.
Anyway, that's what I was wondering.
And that's a pretty freaking big tree. But I'll say this. Oh, what are you doing?
I'm looking something.
Okay. But anyway, if anybody wants a really great documentary that really increases your faith too in what the Bible says, because I believe in the flood wholeheartedly, 100%. Everything happened. Yes, The Ark in the Darkness is a great documentary, and it's on Tubi, and it's a lot of scientists, archaeologists, astronomers, different people, but they're also Christian too. And they can sit there and go through everything. And all the scientific stuff lines up perfectly with everything that the Bible says from creation through the flood. And they talk about it used to be a different earth. Things grew larger. Trees were larger. Plants were larger. It was just different when the earth was first created.
So there's roughly 200 of those tower. They're like Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
Devil's Tower's the biggest one of them.
Right.
But there's roughly 200 of them.
Huh.
So you get trees that huge, you don't need very many of them.
And that's what they were saying, and they said basically after the fall and after what happened with the flood, it's basically, and they show the graph. They can show it, and it lines up with the Bible, an exponential decay, and it shows how people used to live, like, say, 900 years, and how it started going like this, and just an exponential decay until we reached where we're at now, and the earth completely changed from when it was first created.
It goes from a
paradise, basically, to...
Well, it goes from a greenhouse to a non-greenhouse.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And Sean can tell you, and he laughs at me. He's like, are you watching the Ark in the Darkness again? But it's such a good program, and it, as a Christian and spiritual person, as well as an open-minded person, I believe it 100%, and it really increases my faith by watching it.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's just really interesting. And a lot of it, we as man, we were made flawed. We're human. We were made flawed. We were given free will. And unfortunately, a lot of where we are now from when the earth was first created and was so beautiful is our fault. Because we can't completely blame everything on the fallen and the watchers, even though they did things they weren't supposed to do. So did we. So I can say that a lot of it was our fault as humans, just being
stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. And but God wanted to give everything he created like that, like us, free will. With free will comes great responsibility. Consequences. So, and you can either have it good or you can have it bad, and you have to make decisions, and there's consequences for those decisions.
Yeah, stupid woman killed us all.
A stupid woman. Well, hey, Adam wasn't any better. He took the fruit too. He should have said, "Woman, put that down." But anyway.
So, what do you think about doing it like this?
I like this. I think this is going to be a great setup. And a good discussion. I'm just really enjoying it. And
I think I'd rather do it like this.
You see, like, my topic that I just get fired up about.
I kind of doing it like this instead of going, oh, we're going to talk about this week, or we're going to.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have off the cuff conversations.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's okay. Now, I don't know about our other one, True Crime, how that would
work. No, I'm not talking about
yeah, just our paranormal one.
Paranormal
yeah, that sounds fun. I mean, I'm up for it.
Poke.
And poke. Are we doing the ET finger?
Phone home.
Phone home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. This is fun, and I think we'll have a lot of good discussions, and maybe like you see what I'm fired up about, and you want to learn more about it. So if I find some interesting documentaries,
we might talk to her about coming on with.
Yeah. Allison.
I've got her on Facebook.
Yeah, I can't remember her last name, but. Yeah, y'all should check out the Grounded Galactic Twins podcast. They are very good too. So,
anyway, I've got some updating to do to get the Facebook page.
Yeah, and I'll post about the Angels picture that you sent me, and even maybe some other things I can find. Watchers Anunnaki, maybe some stuff about Enoch. So, and just kind of have that on our page, and that's going to be Talking Paranormal on Facebook.
It'll be Talking Paranormal. I gotta get on there and change that. So
yeah, same page, but it'll have a different name.
Anyway, you about ready to get off this?
Yeah, I guess so. I probably need to get the pasta made and we can eat.
I gotta lean over and get my keyboard. Got it.
Well, I'm gonna be off at saying goodbye, so let him do what he's gonna do. Peace. Love you guys. Stay good. Stay kind to one another. Stay open-minded and curious. And
we gotta shorten our exit.
Always be curious. Do your research. Check into things.
Be famous. Anyway, we gotta go.
Love you guys. Bye.